Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. I am doing my December predicted Tarotscopes live this month because I will be traveling next month. So, I mean not next month, next week. But I am, this video is for the December 2019 Tarotscope predictions for the sign of Gemini in your sun, moon, rising, and if love is present, possibly your Venus. So thank you for tuning in live as I do this. Once the video posts to YouTube, I will update it with thumbnails and all of that and clean it all up. But right now I'm just trying to get these videos up quickly and get the information out. So bear with me. If you do enjoy this format of doing it live like this, please let me know in the comments, or if you have any questions, please feel free to leave questions in the comments section of the video once it's posted to YouTube, and I can respond there. If you're new to me, please give me a subscribe if you enjoy these videos. I'd greatly appreciate it. Another way you can support me is follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333. And this is the December predictive for all my little Geminis. Okay, let's see where the Geminis are at. So this first card is what I call the default setting, or the U card. This kind of tells me a little bit about sort of where you're going to be at in the month of December, where things are at for you, kind of where you'll keep kind of returning to throughout the month, general sort of theme of the month. So this card is a beautiful card to kick off with. This is the Ace of Crystals, and crystals deals with the element of the mind. It's similar to swords, right, in a traditional tarot deck. So this is the Brilliance card. To me, this is about inspired thought. You guys being Geminis, you are the element of air, so this speaks to me in the sense that where you will be going back to throughout this month of December is a very comfortable place. It's kind of like going home, or really embracing your mental self. And in doing so, you really start to see the brilliance that is you. Inspired thought will come through. I love how these crystals are sort of exploding forward. To me, there's a diamond in the center that is very centered and very clear, right? So there's a clarity in the month of December that you guys are going to experience that will be awesome and feel very comfortable, inspired. There might be new ideas or new opportunities that you create from this sort of this card, this clarity of thought, this inspirational thought. There's a lot of really good energy behind this card, and it feels to me very comfortable, very natural for you guys this month. So the month of December, to me, don't be surprised if you guys find yourself surprising yourself a little bit, and really thinking yourself outside of the box, or thinking yourself into new ideas, better situations, new opportunities, that sort of a thing. And as you do that, you'll move forward through the month of December with like sort of a grace and ease that will make you feel very like empowered, and especially at a mental level, very capable. Okay. Now this next card is sort of the what I call the foundation. So this sort of tells me a little bit about the past as to what was going on that led up to this month and why the cards are the way that they are today. Interesting, guys. So you have the Ace of Wands, and this is illumination. Two aces kicking off this reading. This is pretty powerful. I've only done 3 of the signs thus far, but you guys have a little bit of a, this is an interesting balanced energy going on here. This Ace of Wands says to me that there's been some awareness that's come into your guys' actually, I'm saying that wrong. There has been some learning that has come into your guys' awareness in the last few months that has maybe shifted your perception of things, maybe shifted sort of how you look at things, and I don't think that it's in a bad way per se. I think that maybe that information might have been a little bit like jarring or shocking when it first came about, but you guys have adapted, and mentally you're certainly adapting, and there's this sort of brilliance energy coming in the month of December where even if for some of you this was maybe a hard lesson to learn or a hard thing to see, you're moving forward in a way that's positive and within your own element. To me, this feels like this Ace of Wands feels like for some of you it was beneficial. For some of you it might have been a rude awakening. It might have been like an awareness that came about in a way that was sort of shocking or unsettling. But you guys are going to rally. Those of you that maybe have dealt with some sort of things that sort of shocked you or surprised you along the way in the last few months, you are going to rally and you are going to come to at this from a place with this brilliant thought and with this clear mind and this ability to sort of how do I want to say, like, pivot or make a decision, make changes, and whatever it is that you need to do in a way that's inspired and creative, and be able to move through the month um, uh, in a very positive manner. Now, the next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This card tells me where your spirit or soul is at, what it is working on. So this is the Seven of Crystals. And so, to me, when I'm looking at this, and I look at this Brilliance card as being sort of where you guys are resonating for the month, this says to me that it feels like your soul is really working on the clearing of your mind and the letting go of old, heavy, sometimes blocked sort of feelings, emotions, thoughts that are not necessarily serving you. And because of that, I think that's why this brilliance is pouring forth. Because this illumination card has sort of, things have come to light in the last few months, maybe how we view ourselves, how we, like what we think we deserve, how people are treating us, whatever it is that has sort of maybe shocked us into the reality that we need more or we deserve more. Our soul is now ready to start to remove the detritus of the mind, to remove the blocked thoughts, to remove the old pains, to remove the old hurts, and to allow this brilliance to sort of pour forth in the month of December so that we can move on to bigger and better things, right? There isn't this heavy weight. It's like, to me, I'm getting this visual picture of our souls are like sort of chipping away at the wall and sort of letting go of the mental things that have maybe blocked us or caused us to feel dull and heavy. And as we let those things go, and as we really sort of look at things as they are and see them in their true illumination, which we have been doing thus far up until this point, we're able to move forward with a clarity and a brilliance that will bring about sort of that energy in return to us, right? So it doesn't, this feels like this is a very good month for the Geminis in regards to new ideas, creative ways of thinking outside of the box, making any changes that need to be made at this time, anything that like steers us away from sort of negative thinking, heavy thinking, things that drag us down. Do that, okay? The next two cards are the outside influences. These are things that are outside of us that are influencing us. They can be people, events, sometimes energies, or um, uh, things more vague like belief systems that are having an effect on us that we need to be aware of. So this is the Five of Wands. We've got crystals, wands, crystals, wands. Interesting. We're having a back and forth between the mind and the spirit. So this is the oppression card. To me, this feels like negative situations around us. And I'm not talking about just your plain old, like, oh, I'm having a bad day at work situation. This is about old harrowing memories. This is about old situations that really harmed us or hurt us in the past and how those things still sort of affect us. And the reason why I'm calling this out is because for my Geminis, this still is having an influence. This feels deep in the past and it feels deeply painful. And that's some of why the Spirit is working on moving this dullness out. As you embrace this brilliance and this sort of new thought, and this illumination, right? In the last few months, we've started to shed these things. We're starting to shine light on these things or these situations, like the suppression card, where we've not been treated as we should, or we've not treated ourselves in the way that we should. We've believed what other people say about us, or what they tell us who we are, that sort of thing. As we release that, we begin to sort of have this brilliance and this clarity of who we are, and really a new sort of school of thought or a new mindset is born in the month of December for us that really propels us forward in a really beautiful and inspired way. Now, the next card is the Eight of Worlds, which is change. I love this card. So, what I'm seeing here for the Geminis is that, like, as we start to look at our thoughts and where our thoughts and our spirits connect, right? Because we have this crystals, wands, like kind of pattern happening back here. I think that the other outside influence here is the Eight of Worlds, which is this change. There are things that we know we need to change. There are things that we have been looking at for the last few months with this illumination card back here that have told us that things are not necessarily how they should be, how they need to be. And this is the opportunity where the outside world is giving us that opportunity to sort of make those changes. If this means maybe rearranging our relationships, rearranging our friendships, readjusting our jobs, our homes, our careers, this is the time where we start to begin that process. I don't feel like this card is a very fast moving card. Sometimes this card feels fast moving to me. To me, this feels like these changes may be slower and more step by step. It feels like it's going to have like a steadiness to it. It won't feel like abrupt change. This illumination card feels more abrupt, like we've been shocked into seeing things for what they are in the recent past. We've already been through that. So this is about the slow moving energy of the outside environment allowing us to take opportunities to make the changes that we need to make, and to do that in a way that might feel slow, but it's going to get us there. It may take like, a year or so, but if we are planning a career change or a relationship change or a change in where we live or how we live, a dietary change for that matter, or just treating ourselves better, this is about really adapting that, taking this brilliant thought and really putting it to use in our material world. The universe giving us the opportunities to start to, in effect, move forward in a way that's not based in these old beliefs. It's sort of like, I feel like these two cards feel like they're fighting for your attention. Do we stay stuck in the past and what we were told we are, or do we like sort of move forward, even if it's at a slow pace, in trying to change those thoughts and let them go, right? And I think that we will, with this Brilliance card being sort of the focal point or the default setting for you guys. It's sort of the where you're going to keep returning to, and you need to keep returning to that and staying in that energy so that this change does take place and that it stays sort of positive. But don't lose hope if the change moves sort of slowly, okay? That would be my only say with this, because this is long-term lasting change, and it starts in our material world through like career, relationships, those sort of things, but it will start to manifest, and it'll be more in line with who we really are once we start honoring who we really are and not who we were told we were or how we were treated from the past. Now, this last card is the potential outcomes card, and I always caveat this card with we cannot affect outcomes with our free will, right? And so this card is not set in stone. This is the future card, or this is sort of tells us how the month of December is going to end out for the Geminis, but it's not necessarily set in stone. So if this is a negative outcome card, you can utilize this card as a warning to sort of make choices and changes to avoid this card happening. But if this card is beneficial or something that we want to have happen, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally sort of just progressing towards this card. Okay? So this is the end of the month card. I love it. We want this card. This is the Woman of Crystals, or what would be considered like the Queen of Wands. This is Guardian in this deck, and I love how centered she is. I love how, we're ending on a crystals. We're beginning the month, and our focal point is on our mental acuity and the element of air, and we're ending it in a very empowered, sort of protected sort of way. This oppression does not affect this Woman of Crystals, this Guardian. Does that make sense? These dull thoughts do not get into her mind if you look at the clarity that she has around her third eye there. If you look at how centered she is. Now, is life going to be perfect? No. There's a wave under here, right, that says that things spin. Life throws at us sort of situations, but does she stay centered in them? Yes. Is she surrounded by these beautiful crystals and these sort of like divine ideas and thoughts? Yes. Do these shimmering crystals want her attention? Yes. Does she choose who she gives her attention to and where she places her attention? Completely. And she also is very protective of that and understands the value of that. So there's a step away from this sort of situations that oppress us and don't acknowledge us, to where we start to begin to acknowledge ourselves. And by month's end, we are in a position where we are protected, centered, grounded, meditative, and clear. right? And because of that, um, I think that you're going to move into 2020 in a way that is going to start to produce major changes in your life that are going to be to your benefit. They may move a little bit slower than you like. I definitely feel there's a slowness to this. But uh, going into 2020 with this energy in place, if you can make it to this like Woman of Crystals card, is a really beautiful, empowered, centered energy that could carry you into the beginning part of next year in a very profound and powerful way. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Have a wonderful holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate. Thank you for tuning in. Please give this video a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Tell me, come back and comment on the video once it's posted, and let me know on YouTube if you like these done live first or the old way. This camera angle is also much different and much more closer and zoomed in on the cards. It's different than the tripod I normally use. So it gives just a different perspective. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. And again, thank you for tuning in and take care. Bye-bye.